Hello guys, it is me, Butterfly Spirit, aka Michelle. So today guys, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about why your crystals are not working. And we're going to run through some scenarios and maybe this will help you figure out why they're not working. Okay? So, the first thing. So let's say you just bought your crystal from a crystal store and you get it home and you start trying to work with it and you find that it's not working, so you put it down and then next thing you come back and start trying to work with it and stuff like that and use it for whatever it is that you need it for and it's not working. Well, the first thing guys that I want to tell you is when you buy a crystal, one of the very first things that you need to do is that before you buy a crystal, make sure that whatever you're buying the crystal to do, make sure that the crystal you buy is going to do that. So if you're somebody who you gave me just a second. So if you're somebody, let's say, who you have trouble with communicating with people and stuff, getting your thoughts across, and you want to buy a crystal that is going to help you, then you're going to go to the store looking for a crystal that's going to help you with communication. Well, sodalite happens to be that type of crystal that's going to help you. But what happens is that you go to the store and you just say you need a stone for communication, and maybe what happens is that the person at the store recommends you the wrong crystal. They don't recommend you sodalite. They recommend you something else. They may recommend you something else because maybe they're trying to recommend you a crystal that they really have not been able to sell. So they just tell you that whatever crystal it is that they have there is going to help you with this issue, but maybe it doesn't. And they're just trying to sell you a crystal so that you buy the crystal that they're recommending. So here's the thing that I want you to do. If you know that you have a type of ailment, like you struggle with communicating with people, and you need a stone that's going to help you with communication, maybe because you have a presentation coming up where you're going to have to speak in front of your class if you're in school, or maybe if you're going to have to speak in front of your coworkers at work, or you're going to have to speak at some type of big event and you need a stone that's going to help you, then I suggest that you research stones that are going to aid you in communication. A really good stone to help with improving your communication skills is going to be sodalite. Okay, that's going to be something that is going to help you. In addition to your sodalite stone, which is going to give you an edge of communication, I would also say practice your communication skills. Read articles about it. Maybe read a book about being a better and effective communicator. And all those things, your crystal plus you practicing communication skills plus reading up on it can help improve your communication skills and stuff like that. Okay. All right. So yes, the crystal does help you with communication, but adding in some extra strategies with communication skills can help you too, because it could, really make your communication skills top notch. If you read about some new communication techniques that maybe you don't know, so you can become the best and most effective speaker that you can. But yes, sodalite can help you with communicating, but I would say add some other methods along with it to strengthen your communication and stuff like that. Sodalite and the communication example was just something to kind of give you guys an idea of what you can use a crystal to help you with resolving. Okay. All right. So let's see, let's go back. So another thing that could happen, let's say for example that you bought a crystal, and let's say the person at the store recommended you the right crystal, but when you get home you find that, you are working with it and it's not working or whatever, and you don't know what's going on, and you try to, work with the crystal few more days and it doesn't work and stuff like that. Well, the thing is, when you bring a crystal home, here's something very important for you to do. It's very important for you to sage the crystal. The reason why it's very important for you to do this is because saging the crystal actually cleanses and purifies the crystal. The thing is, when you are going to a crystal store, there are lots of people who touch the crystals, whether they be bracelets or necklaces or whatever. And somebody who picked up the crystal to, allow you, maybe the shopkeeper that checked you out at the register where you know, you were purchasing the crystal, maybe they touched it and their energy got into it. And other people's energy may have gone into your, crystal or crystals for whatever reason. So you want to clean and purify your crystals so that they will work at their highest possible vibration. So you can clean your crystal or crystals by going ahead and putting it outside in a place where it'll be safe and the sun can basically beam down on it and take out any negative or lower vibrational energy out of your crystals, negative emotions that maybe people had that they were holding in your crystal or whatever. Take that out and purify it so that your crystal is filled with love, light, and God's positive energy, so that your crystal will work on the highest vibration. Another way that you can clean your crystals is you can sage your crystals and stuff like that. There's YouTube videos on how to sage your crystals on YouTube and stuff like that. And if you guys wanted me to do a video on how I sage my crystals, then I'm more than happy to do that for you and stuff like that, okay? So, yes, you can either use the sun to clean them, or you can use sage to help you to cleanse your crystals, okay? All right. After, saging your crystals after you get them home from, buying them from a crystal store, that's a good way to make sure that your crystals are ready and prepared to work with you. Now, let's say that you brought the crystal home from the crystal store, you cleaned it, but you're finding that, your crystal, you're finding you work with it, but it's not, helping you, and you just don't think it's working. Well, one thing you might want to do, if you find it's not working, is I would suggest that you work on spending time with your crystal or crystals. And what I mean by that is you take, maybe it is, let's say it's a big crystal cluster. You take that cluster and you spend some time with that crystal throughout the day. You can carry it around in your pocket, or you can hold it in your hand for 10 or 15 minutes a day, so the crystal can get acclimated to you and your aura and your energy and your vibration and stuff like that. So it knows that the crystal knows that it belongs to you, and you are the person it's going to be working with, and it will become evenly matched with you and stuff like that, and will start working for you, okay? I suggest spending some time with your crystals once you've just gotten them and stuff like that. Now, I would suggest for people to get crystal bracelets, because crystal bracelets are great, because after you get them home from the store and you clean them and you start wearing them, if you wear them all the time, your crystals on your crystal bracelet will get really used to you, and then over the course of a few days, if you know what your crystal does, you will start to see it working for you. Some people notice the crystals working right away. Some people cannot tell. Now, some people will tell me, well, I've they'll say, well, my crystals still aren't working, even though I bonded with them, stuff like that. Well, here's the next thing that you do. What you do is, basically, I would say meditate, okay? Meditate at first, meditate without crystals at first. And I'd say meditate for, I'd say a week. And then, get used to meditating, get on a schedule where you meditate for so much time a day. Okay. And, you're going to just devote time to meditating. Don't worry about using crystals for meditation or anything else like that. Then after a week, what you should do is you should go ahead and basically what you're going to do is, then the next week, try to put your crystal into your hand. Now, when you put it in your hand, and you should be able to feel a vibration from the crystal. Now, if you don't feel a vibration from it and stuff like that, make sure make sure it's not your thumb post. Make sure you put your hand around it and stuff like that, and you're not having your thumb touch it, and you feel the vibration. Then the crystal is working when it is inside of your hand. Now, if you don't find that, meditate for another week without your crystals and then try it again. Now, as far as crystal bracelets go, I would highly suggest that you do research on what those crystals do. And these crystals are very small on bracelets. So, their vibration may be very small. You would be able to feel the vibrations of bigger crystals a lot easier, particularly if they are bigger, like they're about this big. You'll be able to feel their vibration if they're bigger crystals. If they're smaller ones, you might not be able to feel as much, but doesn't mean that they're not working. One way to make sure that your crystals are working is to keep them clean. For me, I know that my crystals are, out of juice or energy. Once I subconsciously take my crystals off and I leave them somewhere like on my table or my bed or something like that, and I notice after an hour I haven't been wearing them and stuff, and then I'll know, okay, yeah, they're full of negative energy, and I'll think back and say, okay, I've been wearing these crystals for 7 days a week, 24 hours, and it's been about 2 weeks. Okay, yeah, it's time to clean them. I can go about 2 or 3 weeks without cleaning my crystals, and I subconsciously take them off. I know it's time to clean the crystals and stuff. And I use the sun to clean my crystals, or I will use sage to clean my crystals and stuff like that. If it's nighttime, I'll just use sage. If I remember to, put them out in the sunlight or whatever, to clean them, then I'll do it that way, which is easier. Now, if you put them outside in the sun, make sure you put them in a safe place where nobody's going to steal them or take off with them. You can put them in a windowsill, but make sure that your crystals can deal with sunlight and stuff like that. Some people clean their crystals with water or different types of, crystal elixirs and stuff like that. But, I would say you have to be careful. Do research on your crystals before you go about trying to clean them that way. For me, I do dry cleaning of my crystals, so I use sunlight and sage. I never let my crystals come in contact with water. Now, throughout the day, I will take my crystals off a lot when I'm washing my hands and stuff like that. I'm taking a shower or whatever. I'm washing dishes. With those activities, yes, I take my crystals off, but I put them immediately right back on, But when I subconsciously take my crystals off, after wearing them for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I just leave them there, and it might be an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and, my arms are, bare of my crystals and stuff like that, I know it's time to clean them and stuff like that. I just have a relationship with my crystals where I know when they're full and I know when it's time to clean them and stuff like that. I felt like it was important for me to go ahead and make this video because there are a lot of people who really do not know about taking care of crystals, and they just think they can wear crystals forever and ever and ever, and they don't realize that the energy of a crystal can get drained out just like you know, your energy can get drained when you are tired and stuff like that. Okay. Um, and one more thing I would like to say about crystals is I would say, you know, in the beginning, work with, you know, beginner crystals, crystals that are easier to work with, crystals that, you know, will not give you, you know, any adverse effects at first. You might say, oh my gosh, what do you mean by adverse effects? I mean that if you start meditating with a higher level crystal, say something like amethyst, and you have like a big amethyst stone, and you know that's the first stone that you buy, and you start trying to meditate with it, and you have not, you know, started working with, you know, crystals that are, you know, that are more beginner, then with amethyst, it might, you know, throw you into an experience that you're not ready for, because amethyst is a powerful crystal, and it is associated with the third eye and the crown chakra. And with those two chakras, you could find yourself, you know, having some crazy experiences, like having, you could have nightmares, you could have maybe some different dreams than you've had before. So you might find yourself astral projecting, going out of body or something like that, whatever, something that's really high up there, and stuff like that. And you know, for crystals like amethyst or powerful third eye or crown chakra crystals, you know, you have to be ready for these crystals and know that they have the high possibility of doing that. That's why for me, although I've been meditating for a long time, I have a small amethyst crystal bracelet because I'm working my way up to it. Even though I've been meditating for a while, you know, it's about how ready you are to work with crystals. And I would say, you know, beginner crystals, you know, that you can work with. I mean, you can work with clear quartz, which is fine as long as they're smaller stones or something. Just like smaller level stones, like, you know, maybe, you know, root chakra stones, or, you know, solar plexus, or sacral stones, maybe even heart chakra stones, that you can work with and stuff. I mean, you can work with throat chakra stones. You can work with, you know, beginner stones that are not as powerful, you know, that are not going to throw you into this crazy experience that you're not ready for yet. Amethyst, that's a whole different ballgame. And if you just got into spirituality or something like that, and you're getting into it, I would suggest that you not mess with something like amethyst or any of the higher level, you know, psychic crystals, before you're ready to work with them. Okay. So, you know, before you buy a crystal, get advice from, you know, your crystal dealer or the people who work at the store, to have them get you a crystal that, you know, you can begin working with, that's going to help you achieve your goal and stuff like that. And also research it so you can know if the crystal is going to, you know, if the crystal is going to cause you any adverse effects, like if you wear the crystal for too long, you get a nightmare or something like that. Crystals are very safe and very natural, but it is important for you to know whether you should wear, you know, you should wear a crystal for, you know, wear it all the time, or just wear it for a little bit of time. Because for some crystals, if you wear them too long, they could cause you to have some unfavorable experiences. And, you know, you want to make sure you're prepped and ready for that. And you want to make sure you buy the right crystal for you, especially if you want to wear a crystal all the time. Okay? Alright, guys. So, thank you guys for watching this video. In this video, I talked about why your crystals are not working. I hope this was helpful for you. And again, guys, this has been Butterfly Spirit, aka Michelle, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.